Welcome. Good morning, everyone. This is a series of lecture for TYBS Analytical Chemistry student, Semester 5 2019 pattern. And the chapter we are going to now learn gravimetry. This is the first chapter of TYBS Analytical Chemistry book. Now here, this is the first video of this chapter. Let us go towards the main core of this chapter. Now here, gravimetry is basically a method based on the determination of the mass. The principle of gravimetry lies in the statement of that. Gravimetry is the quantitative method where necessary determination is done about the weight, and the isolation of weight is done as pure form as possible. Now, analytical chemistry is divided into qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. Now, here, qualitative analysis is the thing but the how much amount, what is the amount is present in the particular sample. That is the thing, nothing but the qualitative analysis. Quantitative analysis is nothing but the how much amount is present in the sample. That is the thing but the quantitative analysis. Now, if sample is provided and we have to determine what is the element is present, then it should be qualitative analysis, and how much the element is present or how much the substance is present in the sample, and that is nothing but the quantitative analysis. Now again, quantitative analysis further divided into gravimetric analysis, that is a chapter name. Next one, volumetric analysis, and another is instrumental analysis. Now gravimetric analysis, as I have already said about the principle of gravimetry, it is nothing but the it determines quantitatively weight of the material as pure as form possible. Now, volumetric is nothing but it is based on the titrimetric method, or it is based on the titrimetric analysis, where by simple calculation N1V is equal to N2V2, we determine the volume, and in terms of volume we determine the weight of the sample. Now next one is instrumental analysis. Now instrumental analysis is nothing but it is also the one type of quantitative analysis. For example, colorimetry. In the colorimeter, a series of known samples are taken and unknown sample is prepared, and we take the absorbance with the help of colorimeter, and from the unknown absorbance we determine the concentration of the material quantitatively. Now, gravimetric analysis was developed by Theodore W. Richards, the scientist, or can say the American Nobel laureate Theodore W. Richards. The gravimetry was invented by Theodore W. Richards. This is the most important line, and his co-workers at Harvard University in America, for which he was awarded Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1914. So just first World War was started. At the initial year, it is 1914. American scientist Theodore Richard was awarded with Nobel Prize for the invention in gravimetric analysis. Now the next one is, it is next paragraph. It is one type of quantitative method of analysis based on the weight. So this is the principle. It is one type of quantitative method of analysis based on the weight. It is the process of isolating and then weighing an element or a definite compound of the element as pure form as possible. Now it is basically based on the determination of weight, by which we can isolate the material as pure form as possible, and that material consists of an element or a definite compound of an element. It is based on the stoichiometric calculations. Now the calculated weight can be determined with the help of stoichiometric calculations. A gravimetric method is based on the following chemical reaction. Now this is the chemical reaction AA plus RR, that will give AARR. Now here A is the number of molecules of analyte A. Small r is the number of molecules of reagent R. Now here A molecules of analyte A, capital A, react with R molecules of reagent capital R. The product AARR is obtained, which is slightly soluble substance, which can be weighed as such after drying, or it may be ignited to another compound of known composition and then weighed. Now here If this proper compound is obtained in the pure form, as pure form as possible, then it should be dried, and after dried, and the weight is determined. If it is ignited, then it should be converted into another compound, and then its weight is determined. Now, what are the for example, if we take the example of calcium, the calcium is determined gravimetrically in terms of oxalate ion, so as to obtain the calcium oxalate. Now, this calcium oxalate is obtained in the form of precipitate ion, and this precipitate ion of calcium oxalate, or precipitate of calcium oxalate, is heated at a particular temperature to form a calcium oxide, and this calcium oxide is determined gravimetrically, uh, and it is obtained in the form of as pure form as possible. So this is, we can say, example of calcium, which can be determined precipitately. Advantages: gravimetric method based on the analysis of pure constituent. If impurities are present, then needful corrections can be done. Now here one advantage is there: if the gravimetry contains any type of impurity, then it should be corrected for the removal of impurity. So that is one main advantages of the, we can say, gravimetry. Another disadvantage, you can say, another second topic is disadvantages. Well, the disadvantages of gravimetry is nothing but the gravimetric methods are laborious, though though they are determined for purity, but they are time consuming and costly also. So there are three disadvantages. One is laborious, another is their cost is high, and they take time. They are time consuming process. So this is all about the, you can say, principle, example, and disadvantages and advantages of chapter first, that is a gravimetry. With this content, I conclude this lecture. Thank you very much for your patience listening.